Hello world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to codingscientist.com. Artificial intelligence and robotics using NVIDIA's Jetson Nano on the JetBot kit. Alright guys, we are on lesson number 27. I hope you guys enjoyed the previous lesson with running the basic motions of JetBot, right? I hope you were able to turn around the motors by running those codes using the Jupyter notebook. So let me, in this lesson, I'm going to show you some more details about how that code works and how to look for the correct information from the GitHub repository, which is maintained by JetBot. So let me quickly go through the browser, and you need to type jetbot.org like this. If you type jetbot.org, it's going to take you to the site which is basically maintained by NVIDIA. Here on the left side, let's go to basic motion. So this is the same thing, almost the same thing on your Jetpack bundle, right? Which is installed as a part of operating system on your Jetson Nano, sitting on top of JetBot. It's 100% the same. So what we need to do is, once you go to basic motion, scroll it down and open and follow the basic underscore motion.ipynb notebook, which is nothing but your the IDE notebook which you had seen on the Jupyter. So open the right click, open a new tab, right, and go to this particular section. All right, so this will take you to GitHub repository of NVIDIA AI IoT JetBot. So this is maintained by NVIDIA, and here you can see the entire detailed explanation for the code, right? For example, from the beginning of the line, as soon as you execute this, the only difference is you run this code in the Jupyter notebook, where you see the command, the buttons and stuff like that on the top to execute the code. But here in GitHub, this is just an explanation for you to understand how the code works, right? So let me try to explain each and everything as best as I can, right? So, but it is already self-explanatory in the GitHub repository. You may go through that. But for those folks who are new to Python or into robotics, so I'll try my best. So for example, the first line of code from JetBot, import robot, right? So in this particular line of code, we are basically importing the Python class, which is defined as robot. So you need to understand what that Python class means, right? So Python is basically an object oriented programming language. Almost everything in Python is an object with its properties and method. There are two different things, properties and methods. And basically a class is like an object constructor, or you can call it as a blueprint for creating an object. However, in this case, the robot, the name robot which is mentioned in the line of the code, is a Python class which we are importing from JetBot Jetpack, right? So this class is called the robot, which will let us control the motors basically, right? If you go to the next line of code, robot equal to robot, and there is a open and closed braces. So what it does basically, so in this line of code, we are basically initializing a class instance. It's basically an instance, right? Which means in Python, in the world of Python programming, the instance is basically an individual object of a certain class. And this object can be a motor or a sensor or any other devices you may want to connect in the future for you to expand the JetBot kit itself, right? It's possible. I'm going to talk about that in the next parallel series, which is going to run very soon, right? Now let's go to the next line of code, which is robot.left, and inside the function is defined as speed equal to 0.3. So what it means, so basically it's nothing but, after we create a class which we created above in the previous line of the code, we will be able to use this particular instance to control the robot motors, right? So basically we are trying to run the JetBot motors to 30%, which is 0.3 is 30% anti-clockwise speed. That is why it is called left, robot.left, right? It's an anti-clock speed which is 0.3. we can modify the code. If you go to Jupyter Notebook, I'll show you. You can just click on 0.3 and delete that. You can put it as 0.5 or 0.6 or 10 or whatever the speed. However, I would suggest keep the speed to the minimum as possible. All right, the slower the speed, more the data collection is going to happen, which we are going to see in the later stage. All right, now the next line of code, if you see robot.stop, and again it's a function, right? So in this line of code, we are basically defining a stop user defined function. It's a user defined function in Python in order to stop the motor of a JetBot, right? So once you execute this code, the previous code will get terminated and it will stop the motor. So that's how it works. Now the next one is pretty interesting. So import time. What is that time? Basically, don't get confused, guys. It's like time is basically, we are basically importing a Python library. It's called time. It's a huge lines of code which is converted into a library in Python, right? So it's an inbuilt program. The Python time library basically provides many ways of representing time in the code, right? Such as objects or numbers or strings, or whatever you call it as. It also provides functionality other than representing time, like for example waiting during the code execution and measuring the efficiency of your code, how quickly it runs or how slow it runs, or it throws up any error or whatever, right? That's where the time function is used. In this case, in specific to JetBot, we are using the time library to run the motor for a specific duration of time, which means you can define how much time you want the JetBot motors to spin, right? So that's the purpose of this particular time function we are using in JetBot. If you go to the next three lines of code which we execute, robot.left 0.3 and time.sleep 0.5, robot.stop, and again it's a function. So basically in this particular section of Python code, we are setting a user defined method within a function called left and right, and also using a sleep function which is inbuilt within Python. Okay, the sleep function basically suspends, it makes you to wait the execution of the current thread of code which runs, right? It basically executes a kind of put it in a mute kind of condition for a given number of seconds. You can define a second, for example here it is 0.5. You can define it as 0.3 or 1.5, which will increase basically. So Python has a module named time which we imported earlier, and which provides several useful functions to handle time related tasks. The sleep function suspends basically the execution of this particular thread in a given amount of seconds. So you can define whatever the seconds you want or minute you want. You can play around with this code basically. So when you execute this code, the JetBot motors will basically run 50% of the speed for 1 second. So that's the code all about, and it stops, which is triggered by the sleep function. So sleep is what, again, it's a inbuilt stuff. The next line of code, again, if you see robot.set underscore motors, time.sleep, robot.stop. So this is basically the same thing. In this section of Python code, we are basically setting a user defined method within a function called left and sleep and stop again. So guys, it's pretty much self-explanatory. If you start, if you probably you can go through my Python tutorial, or there are tons of other tutorials available in YouTube. It's free of cost. You can just learn yourself and try to understand how this code works. It's pretty straightforward, and most of the explanations are given here itself. And in the upcoming lessons, we are going to see how to link the motors to trailets and create the buttons and stuff like that, which I showed you a short demo in the previous lesson. So happy jetbotting, guys, and do keep learning. And I'm going to be back soon in the next lesson. We will jump into the next functionality of JetBot. Goodbye until then.